So, welcome back. Last time, which is our first impressions video of Inscryption, we were midway through our second run, or at least at the start of our second run. So, let's continue that. What did we learn last time? Well, first of all, there's a squirrel apocalypse on the go. Those poor fucking squirrels have no idea what's in it for them. This must be the worst forest to be in if you want to be a squirrel. Squirrel sacrifices in general, you ramp up your deck of cards that you get, basic road-like battler, attack and health, very interesting mechanic around how you win battles, no persistent health pool that you're trying to protect. And as we said, this really eerie metagame with this entity that is blocking your exit out of this cabin. So, let's carry on the second run. We have a card choice coming up. 3 choices. We have a Mantis with that really awesome double attack. The Fervid Mantis, its prying claws strike both to the left and the right. Oh, we have me. That's really interesting. So at the end of the first run, you create a card for yourself, and you get to pick various aspects of that card from the deck that you just played through. So what did I pick? I picked the turtle, I picked the cat, and I had 1 cost. So that's a really strong card for 1 cost. Look at the last one. Conniving Raven, a blight upon the skies. That's quite strong. A flying unit with 2/3. Costs 2, which is quite expensive. But I think I have to take my own card, don't I? There's no world that don't pick me. Me OP, I guess. Okay, so we have the choices here. Now I think we've got 3 items. We've got 1, 2 items. So maybe not best to go for the items. I can do the ritual I can do the sacrificial ritual, which can I even check my cards out? I don't even know what I've got. I could do the sacrificial ritual, or I can buff the attack of one of my cards, which I think I'm gonna do here. The warm light of a campfire was a welcome sight, though the 10 hungry eyes around it dampened the greeting. They're all wearing umbrellas? What is that? Warm a creature by the fire, enhance its health, said one. Right. Pick something else. That would be good with an extra bit of health. A wolf? Although I guess something bad's going to happen this time around. So, what we remembered with the campfire... every time you went to the campfire, it seemed like something was about to happen. And every time you put an animal down, the people surrounding the campfire would seem to want to sacrifice it. That never happened in the first run. But I get the sense... at this point, whatever I put down there is going to get sacrificed. So I'm going to go with something like a coyote. I'm not going to take the wolf because it's quite strong. I can live without the coyote. I can live without the bullfrog, but I don't want to get full health there. Let's do with the coyote. Let's see what happens here. Survivors were right about the flames. They had enhanced the creature's health. Spotting a few of the survivors drooling, you made a hasty retreat with your coyote. So, I don't know where this leads to, but like I said last time, there must be some sort of a risk-reward factor to this, where you can get extra health onto something, but also, if the dice roll doesn't go your way, you lose your card. Let's keep that in mind for when we next come to a campfire. Yeah, here's our first encounter. There's a way out for both of us. It's somewhere in this foul cabin. Be silent or I'll tear you to shreds. Okay. I think this is a fairly easy one. What do we have there? We've got the wolf cub. I can take some damage here. So I think we play my card out, and we can get the Stoat out as well. So it's quite a quick, rapid first turn. So squirrel first. My card out. And then we play the Stoat as well. Sacrifice. Does that give me a bone? I don't think it gives me a bone. Okay. No bones for sacrificing a many lives card, which is interesting. There's the creepy hand. Get that away from the table. Creepy hand away. So we should be blocking 1 damage this turn. We should be able to take care of the wolf cub next turn. And then we might be able to play as coyote if we get another squirrel out. So let's just end the turn here. 2 damage. Wolf cub comes on, attacks me. I am OP, therefore I will survive that. This is interesting now. We can probably afford... What does this do? Alpha. Creatures adjacent to a card bearing the sigil gain 1 power. So, weak on its own. It'll buff the wolf cub, but since I attack first, that wolf cub's going to be dead. I think we draw another card, and the next turn we go for the squirrel. Build up a bit of cards. That's a perfect card to have got. We don't need to do anything this turn. We can't do anything this turn. So let's just pass the turn. Kill the wolf cub. Do another damage. Alpha comes down. Now we can draw a squirrel. Play the squirrel. Play the wolf. I don't care much for that alpha. Put it in front of the wolf cub. And I'll deal the damage, so I should be able to win even before he plays the next card. Yeah, that's gonna be it. Oh, do I want to do that? I'm not getting the over damage, am I? What am I getting? 3, 4, 5, which means over damage of 2. That's fine. If you remember last game, in the last video we won one of the rounds, and we did damage over and above what was required to destroy the entity. And that seems to actually be a form of currency that you can take forward into the game, that you can use at a trapper, apparently. We've not met the trapper yet, but it looks like it's a currency that you use. So you actually, in most cases, want to be doing over damage. And that that brings me back to how I think this game should be played card-wise. So you've obviously got the damage differential that builds up. Now, I think the way this card is made, the idea is that you have big swingy turns. Why do I think that's the case? Well, immediately, the fact is when you drop cards, they attack right away. They're not rebuffs, so you don't get a trade in the values of the cards. So for example, if I drop this alpha, if I drop the wolf in front of the alpha, the wolf would attack first, killing the alpha, and not trade in terms of taking damage back. So that, together with this differential damage mechanic, I think what you end up, and the fact that actually you end up being quite card starved very often in this game. I think you get your cards on the board, you respond to issues that you need to respond to, you take incremental damage until this point where you can do a big swingy turn that just kills everything on the board. I think that's the way you approach it. And then obviously another swingy turn potentially if you want to do a huge amount of damage to the entity. Of course, as well, cards that have some health and have taken damage, you might want to actually sacrifice those. So there's a clear ramp aspect to all of this. that's in the back, but I think the game is going to be played through big swingy turns rather than playing a card a turn. So I think in the context of this game, passing a turn is probably not a bad play. In this case, I think we'll win. There we go. 2 more over damage, 2 more currency for the trapper. And on to another card selection. The Regal Moose. The creature of the wild. Creatures of the wild make way for it. That's quite a strong card. 3/7. Very expensive to play though. What's the tooltip? Hefty. At the end of the owner's turn, a card bearing this sigil will move in the direction inscribed in the sigil. Creatures in the way will be pushed in the same direction. That's interesting. Interesting what happens when it pushes against creatures that are already as far right as possible. Does it destroy them? Really interesting mechanic there. Lots of move mechanics on your side of the board as well. And so far we've seen 2 types of builds really, or at least 2 types of currency you can build around. You can build around the sacrifice, or you can build around the bones. And I'm sure there's going to be different engines for those. For example, we've seen the cap for the sacrifices. I'm sure you'll see some cards that come out that give you multiple bones for sacrificing it, for example. Anyway, Moosebuck, another wolf, we have that already, and a raven. I don't know what other cards we've got and whether we've got any heavy cards. I do quite like the Moosebuck stats. It's a lot of stats for a 3. Raven's interesting because of flight, but is that really good? Is that just like a finisher card that you keep in hand when you just need to do 2 more damage? Let's go with the Moosebuck. It's quite heavy, but seems like it's going to be the right card for the play. Okay. Sacrifice. Or items. I don't think we need the items. We'll go sacrifice again. What are we sacrificing? Suppose we could sacrifice a bullfrog for the Moosebuck. So it doesn't keep moving to the right. Let's try that. I'll go. Why would you go? I think the Moosebuck's the right play here. Actually. But, I mean, for story purposes, there seems to be something here with the stoat. Let's put him on. Goodbye, Bullfrog. You were shite anyway. Okay, so all that does is just change the inscription, or the sigil that's on the animal. So now it can protect against flight. So here's an encounter. Teaching about bones. Alright, here's a tip. I saw a past victim writing a passcode in the rulebook. Right. Okay. So remember at the beginning of the last run, at the beginning of this run, there's a safe in the cabin. And we did actually see that passcode in the grimoire, or in the codex of the game, which is in a separate area of the cabin. We can't get off our seats now to see it, because we're in the middle of a fight, but that's something to keep in mind. We should be able to open that safe. Right, what do we have coming? A wolf cub. I think same starting. We're going to put ourselves down into the path of the wolf cub. Get get the squirrel out. Sacrifice ourselves down there. Me is OP. And then we can just get the stoat out right away. Possum's available as well to do damage, 1 damage to anything that comes, but let's get that stoat out. Let's do 1 damage. Total misplay. Why, thank you. I'm known for my misplays. Right, that stoat's gone. Let's draw another card. I've got a wolf here. We could just end. Could we just end? Could we just end the round here? We could just end the round here, but we'd be doing no over damage. What do we have? Have we got 2? It's 2, right? Or is it 1? It's 2. I mean, putting the wolf down right there and doing the damage just means that we win, doesn't it? Because we'll be doing 3 + 1, 1 over damage. Do we want to get greedy? We could sacrifice that stoat. I mean, it's gonna die anyway. Right play is sacrifice. I mean, let's just play this one safe. Let's just play this one safe. Goodbye, stoat. Sorry. Play that over there, and by the way, we can get the opossum out to do some damage too. So that should give us 2 over damage. Is it 2 over damage or 1? 1 over damage. Yes. Ooh, there's a trap there. That's an event we haven't seen yet. That makes it quite interesting. But let's follow through on that point that we noticed with the stoat telling us about this code here. 273 for the safe. Shows you how bad I am at escape rooms. We saw this quite clearly yesterday when we were just ambling around through this cabin. And never clicked in my mind. Never clicked in my mind that code was for this. What is that? A stink bug. Oh, hello. I wasn't sure if I would ever escape that iron crypt. Is this stoat around? The stunted wolf? This madness must end. Put that away. Right? That was a key, which I guess is... That key must be for that over there. We unlocked this last time with the ring. By putting it all to 11, I think. So we already got the ring, didn't we? I guess we don't really know what the ring is for, though, do we? Oh, would you look at that? That's interesting. So, what is this trying to say? We're trying to do 5 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One, that's 1, 2. Oh, we got a skink here. I forgot that I put that there. Very well. You may add it to your deck, and I'll deal you one every so often. So it's a new card. So part of the escape room element of this game is unlocking new cards. We unlocked that stink beetle. We've unlocked a skink now. This one seems a lot more interesting. What are we trying to do here? Trying to do 5 damage again. That doesn't move. Does that kills that. We just need to deal 5 damage here. What's that? 1, -1. You stop that from dealing damage. Is that 2? How is that 2? Interesting. Are we trying to do 5 total damage? How is this even working? It's just 2. Okay. That doesn't move. 1, 2. Do that? We don't do any damage. That doesn't make sense. Ah, because it does 1 to us. This should be 1 damage. This doesn't make sense. Still 1 damage, so this doesn't seem to make a difference. Does this one move at all? Maybe you can do the damage in the other direction as well. That just defends that. That's 3 damage. Is that over 2 turns? Because this kills that, and then that comes on and gets killed, so no damage dealt there. I don't understand how this is meant to work. No damage there. Interesting. I need to figure out what these are. I still don't know what that is. What is that? What is that sigil? Once I get a handle of that, it should be easier to figure out how this should work. Alright, so as we said, part of the metagame is to unlock cards. We saw this squirrel holding onto that knife like his life depends on it. If you were part of that squirrel apocalypse, wouldn't you be holding onto a knife for your dear life? Nothing else is interactable. Ooh, that was interesting. Great. Great. Again, this doesn't seem to make any sense to me. What are you meant to do here? You can't move any of these around. So that hasn't changed. We've unlocked that. We've gotten the ring here, which we still don't know what we're going to use that for. So what is that? What is that? Okay, ants. All inked out. Mirror something. We have no idea what that does. Bell ring. No idea what that does. Nothing. Boon of the ambidextrous. May draw twice at the beginning of your turn. That is right. So there's boons. Okay. We do have relics. We do have relics. Oh, that's amazing. Boon of the goat's blood. Boon of the forest. Boon of the bone lords. Right, there you go. And then you get these items. So boons, items, and cards. Now, what does that lizard card do? We don't even have a description for that, do we? Guardian, ant spawner, hefty, sharp quill, unkillable, waterborne. Bone King, Corpse Eater. There we go. Loose tail. When a card bearing this sigil would be struck, a tail is created in its place. And a card bearing this sigil moves to the right. Ah. Tail's created in its place. I'm assuming the tail would stop you from getting hit. So what you don't want is any of these. That's going to create something over to the right, wouldn't it? And that's why when we click that, the damage goes to nothing. Because if I was to attack that, it creates a tail there and moves over to the right. So I'm doing no damage there. And I'm doing no damage there. Because it would shift over and take the hit from this. Which is why when you play this one out, I'm dealing no damage to the other side. Now I wonder, we put that there. This would be interesting to see how the interaction would work, because that would ostensibly have to create a tail and move across. But what happens to that? Does that get killed? And then move across there? And that gets killed? Where does that move? So we know that by doing this, we're doing no damage because everything's getting blocked and we're not doing anything over here. Do we do any damage like this? None either, because there's 2 turns of that. So here, obviously the right play is to move both of these down. Is it? Yeah, and keep that one up. Because then we're doing 1 damage there. Yeah, we'd actually rather not attack to create any sort of a chain reaction. So we move that one down. We keep this one back. Keep that one back. There you go. Formidable creatures, those ants. Very well. I will add them to your deck and make them available for future challenges. Nice. Nice. So, oh, right. More puzzles. Right, now with the new sigils. That's interesting. Okay. I'm assuming the ants probably mean you do as much damage as there are ants on the board, right? That's what I picked up looking at the ants last time. So we got ant spawners. When a card bearing the sigil is played, an ant is created in your hand. So obviously some sort of a ant synergy. And we want to find out where the ant cards are. We had one just now, I thought. There we ant spawn. No? It's the same one we had. Ants. The value represented with this sigil will be equal to the number of ants that the owner has on their side of the table. What I don't get is what does that actually mean? So is that related to their attack? I mean, is it not just this? No? Because those all do damage. And then it's just a question of what do you do here? You could move these down, I guess. Do you do that? Do you do that? So there's 2 health and 4 attack. We don't want that on that side of the board for sure. That's definitely dealing the damage on that side of the board. Question is, how many do we... So we can do that. That does it. Caged wolf. Curious. Isn't that a caged wolf right there? I think so. Final puzzle. This one deals damage 1 to all. This one hits both sides. What are we doing? What damage are we doing there? 1? How much damage are we doing here? We're hitting with that one there. I guess this one, the bifurcated strike doesn't hit anything behind, I'd imagine, just ahead of it. I can imagine this probably... Oh, that does move. That needs to go... That you need to not attack, right? Because once you attack that, that creates that chain reaction. So that should go there. That should go down. You can't take that down. How are we doing 2 damage here? So that's 1 of the damage. This bifurcated strike hits there and there. It's interesting that that does 3. Without having met her, this wood carving is meaningless. In time, you will understand its power. No, we've done all of them now, haven't we? That one's done. That's meaningless, as he said. Now what we should do is just get a couple of these screenshotted in case we need to do them again. I wonder if those change every run. Right. Right. Okay, so there were parts of the metagame that we were playing around with. Really, really interesting again. And something that we'll no doubt need to do every time we start a run, I would imagine. But we should have a chock-a-block deck, right? I'll save 7 seconds ago. I wonder if that's the number of cards that we've got. Because we got a bunch of new cards in that run. You were stopped along the path by a trapper looking to liquidate his pelts. There was something uncanny about his appearance, but you were quickly distracted by his wares. Care to look at me pelts? Take a pelt, free of charge. See the quality? What is this meant to do? So how many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've got 7 from the overdamage we've done. We can get a golden pelt, can't we? Whatever that means. What is that meant to do? Is that meant to be a one-time 3 health? You're leaving already? Please consider me pelts. Well, might as well. Thanks for your business. I don't even know what the hell I'm supposed to be doing with that accent. Is it meant to be British? Is it meant to be Yankee American? I've got no idea. The man assured you of the value of the pelts. So, the pelts seem to be health-based. They appear to be useful. They appear to be useless in a fight. Interesting. But he mentioned that the trader further down the path would reward you for them. Okay. I wonder whether that means the pelts are dead in your hand, because that makes it an interesting economy of cards that you have to carry with you that could screw you in fights but give you longer term value. So we're going to skip the sacrifice and go for the fire again. I want to keep taking the fire until we see the alternative outcome of that event. Warm a creature by the fire enhances power, said a hungry survivor. Stop this. Stop this. Why would I stop it? The fire warmed the weary flash had as its power. Oh, I was tired. Oh, I was exhausted from all those puzzle games. You suspected the intentions of survivors were less than pure. With your flash hazardous in tow, you retreated into the woods. The stoat doesn't seem to like that, does he? So, this should be the prospector fight. Again. My boss battles are high-stakes tests of your aptitude. With one flame, you'll either overcome them or die. Fear not, I will let you keep the smoke. The smoke. The incessant clanking reverberated between your ears. The path ahead was blocked by a grotesque figure. Must be the prospector. I'm not gonna hee-haw again. Although I just realized I did. You again. Indeed, our friend freed me. Well, I basically told them how to do it. You got a plan? We have. Another friend here. You've got to be. I wouldn't call him a friend. But I suppose we are in deep this time. Is this the same puzzle every time, I wonder? What does this work do? The card bearing the sigil dies. 4 bones are awarded instead of 1. We don't have any bones cards in our hand. I mean, we barely have a play at this point. Interesting. I do think we need to get something on the board. we need to keep control of the board this time and use the stoat next turn to ramp into something bigger. Stinkbug's quite cheap as well. Right. We end the turn there. What's that mole gonna do? An empty space would be struck. A card bearing this sigil will move to that space to receive the strike instead. Empty, so basically it's just a defense card. That seems like a decent turn. We're gonna draw a card here, don't we? That ant's dead next turn, and then the ant queen is useless. We're gonna draw a card and see if we can sacrifice out of here. Probably wait out this turn. Let's get rid of the caravan or the pack mule. Play the squirrel. Get this Giga Chad onto the board. That should give us the pack mule, which gives us more resources. The worker ant's gonna die, which makes the ant queen useless. We'll get to attack. And then we'll be able to sacrifice the ant queen after that. Does that mole jump? No, it won't. That mole will stay right there. Right. Good stuff. Dad! Dag nabbit. That gives us 2 more bones now. Okay, what do we have? So we've got a coyote and a wolf that need to go. We'll take out 1 life from the prospector this turn. But we will be taking 5 damage. Does that mean we take a life from us as well? Possum can take care of the coyote. Let's see. More bones. Squirrel, what's a warren do? When a card bearing the sigil is played, a rabbit is created in your hand. A rabbit is defined as 0 power, 1 health. Card bearing the sigil is played. I wonder whether that means that you can... Maybe it's just another sacrificial machine. What does a beaver do? Dam builder. When a card bearing the sigil is played, a dam is created on each empty adjacent space. Dam is defined as 0 power, 2 health. So it's a stalling card. Defensive storing card. Okay. Fine. What do we want to draw here? We've got 1 squirrel. We can get the beaver out. And we got my sacrificial one. So I think we get a card here. We don't need a squirrel. The wolf's good. We can take care of the wolf. Possum definitely goes down. Easy play there. I think we just get the wolf out. Play the warren. To see how it works. Never doubt the fecundity of rabbits. So the same as a squirrel. Welcome to the purge. Dear rabbit. You don't want to be a rabbit or a squirrel in this world. This should give us the first kill. One out. Hope you don't think it would be that easy. Let's golden them cards. Oh wow. Gold, I've struck gold, so it kills your whole board for the second run. Enough to play a card next turn. I don't need another mana card here. I've barely got bone cards anyway. I say we keep the mana going. We've got cards for defense, for stalling. Should be okay. Let's get another card out, mana card out. Okay. So here we want to get rid of the wolf. So we just got to stick around for a turn, I suppose. Okay. I guess we do nothing then. This time we get the moose buck. That's good. That's good. Can get rid of the gold nuggets by playing out the beaver. I mean, why not? gonna let us get the moose buck out though. I say we go for the moose buck to get some skither thread on the board there. I wonder if the moose buck moves the gold nugget across, because it's hefty. So it would then move the gold nugget in front of the dog. Can we even play the moose buck? We don't have enough. Heck no. Can we use this then? Oh, we haven't used this yet. Didn't have enough space to play anything in Butter 2. I think we can afford to play this one conservatively and just get a wolf out. One squirrel, one rabbit. Get the wolf out. Suppose we could put the beaver down, get rid of those other 2 points on the board. For that we want to get a squirrel out. Oh, we can't do that, can we? We need to wait for that adder to attack the gold nugget, unfortunately. Oh, we just put the smoke down for the damage and getting the how many bone? Ah, there we go. Thought it would be nice. So we got 11. We got no bone cards. That's fine for this turn. Only bones. Now we have space to play. Now we have the space to play the elk. If we sacrifice the wolf. We can also play the beaver. I think we play the elk here. Beaver's nice. But it doesn't deal with the adder. Do I have to draw a card? Yes, I do. I say we play. Worker ant's quite useless here. Let's get the moose out. We haven't done that yet. We are sacrificing the wolf. It will though kill the adder, mitigate the bloodhound. Moose. Good stuff. Good stuff, good stuff. Now we need mana. Now we can stick around for a turn or two. That 3 damage, and then the coyote next turn we can really. So what's that? It's going to be 6 damage now, but I'm going to hold on to the coyote. How do we do max damage? 3 gets us to the threshold of 4, and then we can just play something else big. The coyote for sure, and then whatever else we can draw to do the maximum damage for the pelts in future turns with the trappers. So we just play that out. Does he get anything new in? Nope. So now we just draw. That coyote's going out. And anything else that we can deal damage with. Interesting. Yeah, pelt. Just a dead card. It is a dead card. You carry resources with you, but they're dead cards. That's scary, because you can brick your hand quite often in this game. No doubt you brick your hand quite often in this game. Anyway, we've got so many bones here. You can chuck out a coyote. We lose it if you play it. Nice. Good over damage. We did what? 4? Allow me to light your candle once more. I won't be killing you quite yet. So that's the first time we've beaten the Prospector. You're the first in a while to overcome a boss. As a reward, you are granted an opportunity to select a rare card. Very similar to Slay the Spire. You beat a epic or a boss, and you get access to what is either a rare card here, or what I would imagine it to be some sort of a boon that we saw a bit earlier. So let's see. I have no words for this freak of nature. Long elk. Oh, that... it's really confusing. What's that meant to do? Sprinter at the end of the owner's turn. A card bearing this sigil will move in the direction inscribed. So... so it moves, and it's got the touch of dead. When a card bearing the sigil damages another creature, that creature perishes. Oh, and it's 4 bones. That's quite strong. That's quite strong. Poor abandoned child. It does not die when sacrificed, but do you have the heart to try? Child 13. It's just an engine. It's much like my engine. We've got my own... so we've got the card that I created for myself that is the engine for the deck. The Stalwart Mole Man, the ultimate defense. Burrow an empty space would be struck. A card bearing the sigil will move to that space to receive the strike instead. So a proper defensive card. Only 1 as well. That's really strong. 1 sacrifice. I feel like we go with the Long Elk. I feel like we go with the Long Elk here. The Mole Man's really good because it provides defense against everything. We had so many bones in the last game that we never used. So even another engine is pretty good to get the elk out. Mole Man is really strong. I wonder if it bounces to multiple places as well. I mean, it's playable for 1 too, which is quite nice because we have trouble playing odds for 1. Long Elk takes anything out. I think we go Long Elk. With sound of the Prospector's pickaxe still ringing in your ears, you carried onwards. So this takes us now, what, to the next floor? It does. The rank smell of rotten mold permeated the humid air. Every step forward was answered by some nearby slip or slither. You tread cautiously into the wetlands. So, stage 2, the wetlands, feels swampy, right? Oh, right, so I can see my own cards there. Nice. Is that a shop? What is that? I mean, that hasn't changed. Does that mean we need to create the setup on a board? So it becomes some sort of sequence thing that you keep doing and then unlock something. So maybe what we need to do is create this board state. I mean, that seems like something that makes sense that we'd need to do. That's the cage. That's the cage animal that we've got right now. So, I mean, that's this over here. We don't really know what it's for, but I rate you play that, you let that get broken out, and then you're able then to go and pick that up in the cabin. It's the exact same thing, isn't it? So that's another piece of the puzzle. Let's move on. You encountered a small outpost in the woods tended by a mysterious woman. It was the trader that old Trapper had mentioned. Her appearance was unsettling, but you were mollified by her offerings. Never heard of the word mollified before. Do you mind if I examine those pelts of yours? Let's start with your hair pelts. Here's what I can offer. I can trade you any of these. Take your time. Bone King, Winter Carberry, several words. Rat King's not bad. Rattler's not bad for the amount that we've got. The Bat's not bad because it's flying. Rattler's good for once-off damage when you get enough bones. Adder's good but quite expensive. Black Goat is great. Black Goat's really great. What does Beehive do? Once card bearing the sigil struck, a bee is created in your hand. A bee is defined as 1 power, 1 health, airborne. So it's a defensive card that also spawns something in your hand that you can play. Grizzly just for the nice stats, but we got an elk that's quite strong with 3-7, which I'd argue is probably slightly better stats than 4-6. Although there's value to attacks because of the meta currency you can earn. I like the Rattler for that case, or the Black Goat. I mean, what have I got? I mean, the Ant Queen and the Worker Ant need to go. Right? Skinks there. What do we really have a lot of sacrificial stuff for? So we got 8 worth of bones at the moment. Is that a real reason? What do we have that needs sacrifices? The wolf. Wait, is that now caged? That's odd. So we have 1 needing sacrifice, 2 needing sacrifice, 3 needing sacrifice, 4 needing... We got quite a few. I think the right play here should be the Black Goat, even though we have 1 bottled. Just to get stuff out, not be mana screwed. And we ramp that one into the elk quite often. I like that. Let's play the Black Goat. And now for the golden plate. Is that a golden pelt? Magnificent. Okay. I guess these are really... Ooh. Urayuli. That looks scary. We've got a Gek. Looks... It's quite nice. It's just the card that you throw down. No sacrifice cost. Free 1/1. Good in a pinch. That's not a bad card. Strange Lava. More powerful form after 1 turn on the board. And then you got the Child 13 for the... I mean, we don't need that anymore. This is interesting, though. Oh, I didn't mean to take it. These pelts are most excellent, my thanks. Okay, well now we need a lot more generation of sacrifice for the Urayuli. Some bone tokens for a Drainy Knight. So that's a once-off bone tokens. We have the air attack, the scroll. Need to get rid of that. Let's take the bone tokens as the resource. This could be quite nice just to win a round. Although we don't have that many heavy attack minions. Let's go for the bone token, one off. That's going to be a battle. So that's similar to the totems that he had last time, right? Last time he had a wolf totem that made all his wolves fly. So I'm assuming it's a special conditions battle. This is just a normal battle. What do we have further down this line? Another item. It's an X mark spot there. There's another card coming up. I don't know what that is. I think we give this one a try because I don't know what it's going to be, and that seems like a fun battle. Plus... Oh. Both have interesting stuff. I don't know what that is, but I don't know what that is. I think I'm going to go on the right. Seems like the safer play. I get a card. Let's go that way. We have Bullfrog. I got that Cage Wolf. Got a Skink. Got a Scroll. Remember to use this. Something like that. Might have actually waited to use it in a bit of circumstance. Actually. I just think we take the hit here. We take the hit and see what else he plays. That frog's not threatening. It can be taken out quite easy. We take a turn with nothing. Now we've got the adder coming on board. Again, we don't really care. It's a single point of damage. The coyote is interesting. I want to get rid of that. Bullfrog can stay. Maybe the bullfrog can... Maybe... Well, I don't want to get the adder to destroy the caged wolf, right? This is really cool. Does that mean that if we play the skink this turn, we can basically avoid all damage? I think we need a squirrel. Let's test that out. Let's test it out for the science. Get that skink on board. Let's So my thoughts are, this thing is going to keep jumping to the right as it's meant to be hit and keep creating those tails, and then it moves over into that right-hand slot and does one damage. Well, it does one damage for us next turn, doesn't it? Well, this turn, I guess. So we even out the damage done this turn, and then we mitigate all damage coming in from their end. Let's see if that works. So, strike. What I'm expecting is a strike. Their cards come on board. They strike. He tries to strike. He moves across. He tries to strike. He moves across. And just create a wave of tails as the skink moves over into the right-hand lane. It's hard to call it cowardly. Right, so it doesn't. It only moves once. It only moves once. Only moves once. That rattler's gonna hurt. That rattler's really gonna hurt. We need to draw more cards. Put the caged wolf in front of the rattler, and then we're dealing with 4 damage. We play the black goat. Okay. Play the squirrel. Play the other squirrel. Get the wolf out. And that goes there. That way we're dead. I think we're dead. I think it was a misplay. Yeah, it was a misplay. It's doing 5 damage to me this turn. Yeah, that was bad. Should have played the black goat. I mean, this is really bad. This is so bad. Badly played. Very badly played. Unlike the bullfrog. River otter. Ah, the elusive otter submerges itself during my turn. Meaning it doesn't take damage, right? Submerges itself during its opponent's turn. While submerged, opposing creatures attack its owner directly. So it just stays on the board and takes things out for 1. Not a bad card. I already have a black goat, although I didn't draw into it. I really do need cards that aren't dead in my hand. And I think that's the river otter. X marks the spot. That's a new one. You came across some familiar stones, but there was something different. You intuited that the fate of the creature selected for this would not be pleasant. Do what you must. Oop. Now, I'm assuming this is how you get rid of cards in this game. I think the ants are folly here. I think we don't need the ants. Yeah, I think we get rid of the ants. You callously slaughtered the Ant Queen. However, the Blown Lord was pleased by your sacrifice. What's that? Minor boon of the Bone Lord. You will start each battle with 1 extra bone. Right, so that's the Bone Lord. So if you sacrifice a better creature, you get a better boon. You shook off the viscera of the poor Ant Queen and carried onwards. So basically get rid of a card, but also if it's a good enough card that you're getting rid of, you get something that replaces it. It's good. So the Bone Lord boon is pretty good. And we saw in the Codex before. We go to the left. You start getting to some of these. Yeah, so you get the bottle stuff. Yeah, minor boon of the Bone Lord. Boon of the Bone Lord will start with battle. So, if you sacrifice something that was high value, like maybe we sacrificed the Urayuli, we got a boon of the Bone Lord with 8. You start a battle with 8 bones, which then means you go heavy into the bone deck. I don't know why that would be helpful, starting with Grand Furs and all your spaces. I guess that's a delay tactic. You build up your cards and you play it all at once in a big swingy turn. That's really good as well to ramp up. So interesting. Anyway, that's all stuff we'll see. No reason to break it now or to spoil it for now. Let's go on to the Totem Battle. Mighty Leap, card bearing the sigil block opposing creature airborne. So we have got no airborne. We're getting 2 bees coming on the board. Not all that scary. Got the Urayuli in our hand and the River Otter. I think we wait a turn. We take both of those out. Oh, I can't. Okay. Well, we could keep equal on damage and then use the next turn for the Otter to take out the bee. So I think the bee's the Otter's the right play here. Place that there. Doesn't really matter, does it? Both of them are bees. Hold your breath. Both attack. We will need to draw some. You draw something to play the skink out now. I'm never going to get to that Urayuli unless I get a goat. So what's the differential going to be now? I deal 2 damage. What, they deal 3? I'm going to need to pack up on some turns and get some new creatures out. Your possum's nice. Easy bones. I mean, let's see here. It doesn't hurt playing the opossum. Puts us back to even. The beehive coming on. You probably can afford to wait a few turns now. It's his favored, but not doing. We're doing more differential damage next turn. Let's keep drawing. That's 2 heavy cards. That's unfortunate. Fine. This is what happens when your card gets too many heavy. I don't think you can afford to have too many heavies unless you have the ramp for it. We're gonna struggle now. Still shouldn't be too bad because that beehive does nothing on the board. We should be doing 2 damage. They should be doing 3 damage. So it's not the end of the world here. Let's keep waiting up for those ramp cards. So nothing coming, but a bit of a breather. Draw another card. It's a wolf. That is so unfortunate. Yeah, we're getting into danger territory here. Oh, we need to start drawing these cards now. Is there any incentive to play? I don't think so. We're doing more damage. We can keep the board state. It doesn't look like it's like the entity's got any more cards. I think that was the totem run. It was just meant to overwhelm you with the amount of weenies that they had, but we did a good job in keeping the damage balanced. So now we can just keep drawing. I want to get that caged wolf out. I want to see what happens when you play. I see the way this is going. I concede. Ah! You may accept my surrender. You may finish this match the slow way. No. Oh, what is that? I feel like there's something significant with accepting the surrender. I do want to see what the cage wolf looks like, but this is not going to be it because we're going to end up doing enough damage anyway to swing it across. It might just be worthwhile seeing what that is for future reference. So he's obviously offering surrender. We'll take that. I mean, we could have gotten some over damage, but it was just interesting to see if you get anything useful from a surrender. Alright, so this is a blood card. Does this mean it's a mana card? Like essentially a sacrifice card? You must make a different kind of choice now. Choose not a specific beast, but decide the cost that you wish to pay. What does that even mean? The cost that I wish to pay. Do I have any 3 cost? What is it? I don't even have a 3 cost. What am I going to pay for that? I don't have 3... Oh, I do have 3 cost minions. Or something with the times next to it. Stink bug, peyote, opossum. Kind of like all of those. And the long elk, which I haven't seen yet. I mean, let's just pay with the... Just pay with the caged wolf. The flighty elk, it moves after attacking. Okay. A random card with a cost of 2. What were you expecting? Okay. I get it. I get it. Can you turn cards down? Because my deck's getting quite fat at the moment. Campfire or implements. Do we need any implements? What do we have? Do we have no items? I think we've used our items except... I think we can go for the items, yeah. Permanent buff would be quite nice, though. Though I feel like the items are going to be more impact. Oh, let's just go for that permanent buff. Fuck it. We want to see what the outcome of this. Crackling fire lit the starving faces of a group of survivors. So it's the survivor story again. We have not food, one said, but perhaps one of your creatures will join us and enhance its power, said another. Doesn't have food. I like putting the power up of the river otter here. It's a really good card. Possum's good as well. Because of how cheap it is. Heck, you can even make the wolf like a one-hit wonder. Well, no, none of them are one-hit wonders. Elk, moose buck. I feel like 3-4 would be quite strong, but I think on the river otter it's going to be the best. Survivors were right about the flames. They had enhanced the creature's power. Spotting a few of the survivors drooling, you made a hasty retreat with your river otter. So something seems to be here with food. If you can get them food, maybe something better happens. Maybe a once-off higher buff with food. But that's the 4th or 5th time we've done that now with no negative consequences. So I'm beginning to think that there's a mechanism behind that which is just a further buff to the fire if you do something with the survivors. And maybe that's another persistent element you can bring into the game. Because there is the survivors are next to the safe in the cabin. So I wonder if food is something that needs to be placed over there. Anyway. Another totem battle, and this is going to be tough, I guess. What's this one? This is going to be a move one. Okay. So strange. Why can't I remember his name? I believe I lost some of my memory. In the flash. Flash. Kingfisher, Kingfisher. All of these are going to move. At the end of the owner's turn, a card bearing the sigil move direction inscribed, so both of them are going to move. Bag. Oh. So both of these are... Oh, right. So they're going to be doing permanently, basically, 2 damage. Unless I put something in their way. You can't remove those, can you? Can put a stink bug down, which means that they won't be doing any damage. Long elk's not going to be that useful. feels like the right time to get the stink bug out. I think the stink bug will work. We don't have anything else we can play. Very heavy hand for... can mitigate 1-2 of the damage here. We leave the kingfishers, we put the stink bugs across from them so they do no damage. We will have to sacrifice a scroll and get nothing for the sacrifice, which is a bit BS. I think we break this piggy bank. Play this stink bug. What do we have now? 5? Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Let's play that stink bug right here. And then we just hold. Deal 1 damage. They deal 2. They move across. Oh, that sucks. Gee, that's great. So it seems like the effects resolve from left to right. There, it got to this kingfisher here. It attacked and tried to move right, but because the other kingfisher was there, it couldn't, so it stayed. And then it moved across as well. I don't think we need to do anything with these. Those things are going to be weak. This one moves across, it's basically 0 damage. The stink bug keeps doing its own damage. So I think we're in a good position here. We should draw a card to see if we can't get something to use with the scroll. Worker end. It's just so BS. I mean, it does absorb a little bit of damage, I guess. And then we can sacrifice it next turn. So, I think that's what we do. That's our turn. We now have 4, so we can play a coyote. That's going to attack and move 1 across and then become useless. Only deal 1 damage. We can get rid of the sparrow. I think we just play the coyote into the open lane here. We could just hold. Oh wait. Alright, so it is a 1. Okay. Oh. Let's get some damage down. So that's stuck. We've got another river otter coming down here. We draw a card. Caged wolf again. We'll kill the bullfrog, but then that'll be killed by the river otter. We'll still deal 2 damage. 3 damage, and then it'll deal 1. So net 2 gain. I think we can afford to wait a turn, or not like we can play anything. Could play the caged wolf. And then basically permanently nullify that lane. But then the stink bug needs to go, and I don't want that to happen. So we're just going to pass the turn here. Right. Right, so it moves across. I think we can afford a card this turn. You draw into a 1. Oh, there's that heavy deck again. Oh, at least we won. No over damage, but we won. That's fine. Trapper again. I don't think we have anything for the Trapper. First one is free. How many do we have? We got 4. Oh, it's just missing 1 for the Wolf Pelt. You want to keep it? Can we just leave? Yeah, we can. I think we're missing items. Yes, we are. It's definitely an item. Item this time around, and it's the boss. Did we pick 1? No, I think we play the Black Goat. If you deem it necessary, you may cut up one of my cards with these. Oh, nice. Right, that's for certain. And then more bones. Another Black Goat. I think we take the bones. Let's just pump something out quite big at the start. Right, the boss of the second stage. A foul smell invaded your nostrils and caused your throat to seize. A hulking man sat by a brackish pond with his feet submerged in the dark water. He pulled a hook from a pile of rotting fish and rose to his feet. I am the angler. Go fish. Okay. Again, wonderful aesthetic. Blue board now. It's really great what they do with colors in this game. See how everything's fished back across, or switched back across like a fishy theme. What's he got coming? Kingfisher. Flying and submerged, so that's going to keep doing 1 damage. We could just put a river otter there and nullify that completely. No, I think that's exactly what we do. I think getting that early damage in with the river otter is going to be useful for the rest of the fight. Which fish? Card choose. What is that meant to do? Does that mean that next turn it's going to get killed? Oh. If we get the wolf out, we can do enough damage this turn to knock him down by 1. Pressure fish, easy choose. What does that mean? cheesy chews. What's that meant to mean? Okay, well, we'll see now. So it takes it. Mine now, go fish. Okay. That's pretty devastating. Is he gonna fish again? I don't think so. We can win it. We can win it now. Play that over there. That's going to push his attack back as well. Should be able to take it with this attack right now. Yeah. Go fish. Bait bucket, bait bucket. What's that meant to do? Nothing? That's not the card you want to see. Great white. A fish. That's one hit. Another bait bucket. I think we're gonna need to Skink's gonna be useful here. Problem is the skink's gonna create more problems for me. I think what we do here. Man, but that skink can be so devastating. Fuck. Beat the battle on the damage. I don't want to activate any more of those. We cut up that. If we cut up that bait bucket. I've got to get rid of the damage though. I've got to get rid of the damage. We get rid of one of those two. Problem is we need to do enough damage to offset one of them because they're going to hit for 4. just no way out of this? I think there's no way out of this. I think we did. I think that's it. That's the run. No matter what we play. No matter what we play. Just can't do enough damage. Yeah. Yeah. At least now we know for next time. Go fish, and we did. Stay there, no need to move. So I wonder whether between every single run, is this a new character every time? I'm assuming that the character that you are sitting across the team playing, you lose, you die. Then he goes out and drags someone else in. Maybe one of the villagers? Stay there, no need to move. I'm afraid you are not dead yet. Hold still. Where did I put that camera of mine? You want to give him the camera? Really? I would partake in my own snuff movie? What? Am I taking a photo of him? But then, do you really think I would leave film in there? Smile for the camera. You have any idea what that camera is capable of? Give me that. We have a memento to create, right? So that's the start of every new run, is memento. And you're in this constant loop, aren't you? Behold your death card. So again, shall we begin to ink it? Yes. Please choose the card to draw the cost from. You make it free? Can you really make it free? Oh, that's great. Free. That's powerful. Oh my word. Power and health numbers. A free 7/7. Let's go. This is ridiculous. Right, so there's even some carryover effect on the cards in your deck. So even though you might get a 7/7, either you end up doing in the run and sacrificing at one of the altars for a big boon, for example, or you end up dying with that card in your deck, and your next run you're able to create a 0-cost 7/7 minion. That is so ridiculous in a game like this, that you take a 4-cost down to a 0. Love it. I mean, sigils don't even matter at this point. Sigils don't even matter. Either it does the movement or it does the pushing. That's the benefit. You take a hit. I mean, you could contain it with the move by just keeping it in one spot and something to the right of it, or you could, but with the muscle one, it just moves all over the board. And the sacrificial one is pretty nice because you can sacrifice it for 3 for free. I don't know why we just don't do that. And then if it gets low in health, you just sacrifice it. I don't think the move does anything. How many times have I wanted one of them to move across? I suppose you could hit an empty lane and then move it across, but if I'm hitting one time with this thing, in an empty lane, it's already GG, and I get two teeth for the pelt from the trapper. So I just think we go with the sacrifice, get that to low health, and then you end up sacrificing it. Although I don't think that'll ever end up happening. It still means it doesn't move around the board, which is quite annoying. So we'll take the Black Goat Sigil. What do we call this one? How about I'm OP? Exclamation. Hi. It's OP. Yeah, you gotta take my photo, you sick freak. Yeah, go for it. Go for it. Say cheese. Are you prepared for what lies ahead? To be impaled on the angler's hook, like the one who came before. So, so it is the previous protagonist is dead. So I guess there is permadeath, ha ha ha. But it doesn't really change anything for you. From your perspective, you're still fighting the entity. It seems the lowly stink bug has made its way in. Why is the stoat looking funny now? What's his head looking squarer than before? Okay. Yeah. But it is dealt, so it stands. So you get dealt a starting deck of cards. Okay, so that's my starting deck, right? Where's my card? Okay, well, that's the start of a new run. I think we can end the video here. Great run, all the way up to the Angler, which is the second stage boss. I mean, if this is anything like Slay the Spire, that will be 3. Can't wait to play more of it, and definitely will be binging on this over the next couple of hours. Thanks for joining me, and see you guys next time.